Welcome back everybody to Web Gaming Central, and today we're going to play StarDrive once again. Now, it's still in beta form right now, but I think the game releases in about a day or two, so in this video though guys, I actually have a guest. Wolf is joining me because he is experienced with this game. He's going to actually tag team with me here, so how's it going, Wolf?
Oh, not too bad. Yourself?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Pretty excited that you decided to join me here, so a big thank you to you, and I'm really ready to get going. So I figured we'll start a new game. That way we'll hit the ground running, you know, right from the base of everything, and then you can kind of give me some ideas on what the best route to, you know, success.
I'll do my best.
Okay. So from your experience with the species, what have you come to find to be the best or the most efficient species to choose?
Well, I've found that really it doesn't matter what you choose. It's
Okay.
more the species, more the aesthetic.
Okay.
Everything that comes from is the three tabs you see in the middle: the history, sociology, and physical stuff. My best build at the moment is taking everything off and turning the cybernetic on, so you don't need a food resource. You don't need to worry about that part of the tech tree.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Um,
No, you say turn things off just by let's see.
yeah, just clicking them, and then you see on the
Oh, I
right hand
see.
side you've got your points to spend.
Exactly. Okay, so let's turn those off.
Yeah,
Let's
I'll do
turn-
this. I'll do the same on my side.
Okay. All right. So cool. So I have just meticulous, and I don't see that one in the menu here. Oh, there it is. Hello. All right.
Yep.
So I have full 8 points here, and I still have the humans, but I see that there's a bunch of other choices here. And you know, you mentioned the aesthetics, and honestly, I'm trying to decide. I think I like either the humans or the Corgrazine. I think their ships look pretty cool.
Yeah. I think you can probably tell where the inspiration for the developers came from. I mean, the humans were
Yeah.
kind of like the human ships from Stargate.
Exactly.
The the Dreylock looks something like from Babylon 5,
Oh yeah.
and the Fulfar look like Russian submarines.
Oh, there they go. You're right. That is very true. Wow. Interesting. Man, it's really hard for me to choose. I think I'll just stick with human at the moment, and maybe, you know, at a different time I'll pick a different one. But let's unselect those skills again, and then. So I know we can look through them all one by one, but from your experience, what is the best, you know, physical, sociological, history and tradition? Which one of those did you choose, or do you find to be most advantageous going into the game?
Cybernetic is usually a good one to choose because you don't have to worry about food.
Oh, okay.
And then you see the ones with the minus numbers against them means you can get points back, but obviously your civilization's then got a kind of
Right.
negative effect.
Right.
Um,
I see.
I usually choose honest because it's a diplomatic thing.
Okay.
But you can get your diplomatic stats back up.
Oh, I see.
Let's have a look. See, meticulous. You can probably put back on.
Okay, let's go back there. Actually, I think that was in the middle. Yes, it
Yeah.
was. Okay, cool.
And you've got one more point left, which is pretty useless at the minute. So I would say put in less fertile. So then you've got
Ah.
4 points, and then you can put in. Let's have a look. Mercantile, because I've found when I've been playing that you do run out of money quite quickly, especially when you've got large fleets.
Ah,
So
okay.
anything to help with the money side is definitely very advantageous.
Sounds like my playstyle too. Okay, that's
Right.
awesome.
Do you see in the top right, you've got your settings. They're not very clear.
Over here.
Yeah, I didn't notice them until about third or fourth time I played, and it's like, oh, I can do that.
Oh wow.
So you can just click them, and they will. You can change it. So what I usually play is like epic, crowded. I usually change it to say like 2 opponents.
Oh, so just 2 opponents. Wow, you know, it's funny because there's nothing that tells you that you can do that.
No,
Like
that's
you
what.
just said. Interesting. Okay. And you can change the pacing. I'll go back to 100, and I
Yeah.
guess right-clicking gives me back going backwards. And you
It's
said
just-
easy
it's-
to start off, right, with the difficulty,
Yeah, just something nice and easy.
just to get
started.
acclimated to everything. Yeah. Now, what about galaxy size? Did you jump right in with the large or
Yeah, I'd say epic.
epic? Ah, even better. I like that too. All right, solar systems. What about this? What did you go for that?
Crowded. It usually means that you can just get more planets.
Cool, cool.
But then the look of the draw then is that you get planets that you can't colonize.
Ah, I see.
So it's good, but then it's bad size too.
That's all right. Let's Sounds like fun either way. And I guess I can name my empire anything that I want, of course. And I think we'll do something interesting. I don't know. Let's see. Web Federation or something.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know. Not very creative, I guess, on this type thing for me. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. But humans, yes, indeed. Home system, solar system. Switch that up too, just to bring some variety. Get another weird name. But I'm going to actually go ahead and pick my flag. And here's the interesting part, because I often have a hard time choosing such things. But I'll find something interesting, I guess.
I'll keep it consistent, try and find something that looks like a web.
Yeah, there you go. I think that, that's a sun right there. I think that still can go as a web. But let's see. Let me come back, and that can pass as a web right there. Let's see. That could. What is the sun? But I like that. I think. Cool. We'll do that. And let's see. I'll stick with the blue, I suppose. I suppose. Yeah, blue is good. All right. That's more like a purplish. All right.
You find that the color system's a little weird. You have to like drag the right hand side to get the proper hue.
Oh, I see. Here we go. There we go. But do I want it that dark? Let's see. Probably not. So let's come out a little bit. We'll do something like that. Okay, there we go. I won't do that too long. So now we have rule options. What does that get me here?
That's just in-flight FTL speed. System, sorry. And the planetary gravity well means that you cannot go to FTL if your planet's within a certain distance of your ship's within a certain distance of the planet. I
see. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay, so I guess now I can go ahead and engage. Or do you have anything else that I should be thinking about on this screen?
No, just nice. I want to look at the pretty pictures.
Exactly. So I think I'm all set, except I think they want me to spend that last point, don't they?
I don't think it's mandatory, although you can if you can find something that's worth 1 point.
Yeah, because my engage button is not highlighted.
Oh, you can have the prototype flagship.
Oh, say it again? Oh, great. I think I just reset everything. Oh, that's just awesome. Okay, let me just run through this again really fast. That was my fault, guys, for hitting the button again. We're going to fly through switching this, although I could have left some of the things. So we did have...
We had less fertile.
Less fertile. Bingo.
Mercantile.
Mercantile. Right here. Meticulous.
Yep.
History, we had cybernetics, but I can't choose that just yet. I have to take one more thing away. It was something that we had.
It was honest.
Honest. There we go. And then let's
and then it got
cybernetic. Now,
you can have your prototype flagship back.
Prototype flagship. Where's that at?
It's right at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, right, the flag and color.
No, the prototype flagship.
Oh. Am I not seeing it?
It's right at the bottom underneath small hole world.
Oh, wait a second. I am definitely, okay, guide my mouse here because I have no idea.
The bottom of the list, small prototype ship.
Oh, there we go. That's what you were talking about. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of something else. my mistake. Of course, I have to rename this again to, we're going to actually do the Web Federation. Alright, and now leave that rest as it is and go back to we'll stick with that. And you know what, we'll just leave the color as it is. So, okay, we have all the points spent, but yet my engage button is working. Okay, awesome. Alright, so here we go. Now we are at the home base. Question for you. Is there a way to move the camera like around instead of just, whoops, let me do that like this, because this is the only thing I can do as it stands right now.
No, I don't think there is a way to turn it around.
I see. Okay.
Trying with my mouse,
right? Because I wanted to orbit around the planet or something like that, but I guess you can't do that, and that's okay. Okay, so at this point, I know the first thing, at least the first thing that was on my mind was research. So is that what you typically do when you first start?
Yeah, it's usually the best thing to do because then it can just get started straight away.
Right. Okay. Now, the first time I did it, and I think the first video I made, I just pretty much said, there's too many things to look at. Let's just pick a bunch. But I don't want to do that this time. So, what's your recommendation on the first things to focus on? Because what I realized with games like this, it really does matter what you start with, and then as you get to the later game, you'll you'll start to suffer if you made the wrong choices in the beginning. So I'm trying to make sure that I pick the right research, choices at this point. So what's your recommendation there?
I usually go for starship construction first and choose the
Okay.
Corvette.
Okay.
Because it's
So,
one of the cheapest things to start out with, and it'll only take, like under my screen, 57 turns. Same for
yep,
yours as well.
same here. Yep, same here. So after that, what do you tend to queue up? Do you tend to go a mixture, or
I,
do you stick with the starship construction?
well, the Corvette will serve its purpose until sort of like mid-game.
Okay.
I would then say go to energy and get energy weapons, and you don't have to rely on ammunition and your ships warping in and out of combat to go and get ammunition from the nearest starbase.
Ah, nice. Okay, good to know. See,
So,
these are things I would have learned the hard way. So.
yeah. So energy weapons and energy shielding.
Okay, energy shielding, and then
And
from there.
from there, it's pretty much up to you. Once you've got those, you can do anything you want.
Okay, that's good to know. So I guess
Yeah.
I'll focus a little bit on colonization then, right? I mean, that
Yeah.
sounds like a
And
good idea.
And because they're cybernetic, you don't need to worry about that entire food tree.
Okay, okay.
The
Oh,
only
they are
thing
cybernetic. Okay.
the only thing I would say is that the terraforming is really important, but it's 4,500 research points. It would take ages to
I
to
see.
research.
Oh yeah, that is a lot. And the good thing is, once you click that, it automatically selects these for you because obviously you need these researched before you get to that. I think that's pretty cool. But that's a lot of research points.
Yeah.
But do you recommend this though? I mean, is it a good idea?
Oh, not yet. No.
Not yet. Okay, so we're gonna actually take that off of here. Oh, great! I did the wrong thing. Let's go back and get that out of there. And so it keeps biosphere and aeroponics. I think that's what that says. But we'll get rid of those two. So we got those three, which are the most important right now. So I'm gonna actually go to. I guess at this point I need to click and read a few just to see what their benefits are.
Yeah. One of the little side notes about being cybernetic is that instead of consuming food, they consume the industry, which is used to build chips and stuff.
Oh, I see.
So you really need to get industry up, so sort of like the industry foundations, and then the side tree mining and deep core mining is a good start for cybernetic races.
Definitely. Okay, will do. So I'll tell you what, I'll do that. That's enough, I think, as far as queuing up, and then we can always come back once we start to see some of these research projects complete, right? And then, so that sounds good. Let's go ahead and come out of there. That's all set. Now, at this point, because this is where I pretty much was stuck in the last video, just looking around because I didn't know exactly what to do next. But at this point, I'm assuming we should start sending ships to do certain things, or what's the goal at this point? I mean, obviously we started the research, but is there something we could be doing within our planets? Because I do notice you can, drill down
Yeah.
to your planet surface.
Yeah, I've got the same problem. You see how the industry is set to minus 3.5?
Yes, I do see that. Yep.
If you double click on Earth,
Okay. You can actually double click on it.
no, Earth itself, the
Oh.
planet in the screen.
Okay. There we go. Bingo.
Right, do you see how your production in the bottom left is going down? It will go down slowly every 5 seconds, I think it is.
Yes, right here. Yes.
You need to get that number to a positive number, so just drag the slider up until you're like at 0.1.
Okay.
There you go. Right, so
There we
so
go.
now, yeah, so any excess now will put into the production queue, not the production queue, the industry pool.
Oh, I see.
But that number
Interesting.
there, that number is indicative of if you've got something in your construction queue, every second that much will be put into that production. So at the moment, 0.1 we put in every second of that
Nice.
thing.
That is good to know.
So if you put that all the way up to max, which is 7, every second, every 7 production will be put into that ship.
Really? So is that your recommendation? Then should I go ahead and just max this out?
Well, no, because if you look on the top left, your science is 1.7, which is what Earth now currently provides. So if you put that to 0, you won't research anything.
I see. Okay.
You
Of
need to
course.
try and strike that balance.
Exactly. Okay, so we'll leave it as it is right now then. And now what's this whole thing with him being crossed out?
It's because it's set manual at the moment. If you click on the manual button, you can set
I
whatever
see.
you want that planet be. So a military planet would be on the border of your territory. So if it's under constant invasion, that planet will focus on defending itself rather than being an agricultural research planet.
Definitely, I understand that. Okay, great. So at this point, I guess we can go ahead and keep managing it ourselves, I suppose, right?
Yep.
Okay, now this is our income rate, the 8.889.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, that's good to know. Now we have a spaceport here, and I'm assuming we can build some ships. Then we have our capital city, and now these research bottles, what do they represent? Because we have two here.
That's just how much research is pumping out. If you pull the research bar up, you'll see that more bottles appear.
Oh, you said if I do what now?
If you pull the research bar up, more bottles will appear.
More would appear. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright then. Okay, so at this here colony screen, what will we be able to do with this as the game goes on?
Well, as buildings become unlocked, you'll be able to place them on the planet itself. It'll either increase like food, production, science,
Nice.
whatever.
Nice. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. I like the management side of things. So
It's definitely a game for micromanagers.
yes, that's the thing. That's the thing. I love micromanaging to a degree. Now we have over here in the right-hand bar some troops that we can hire. Now, do you recommend this early in the game?
I would say build one on your home world. It's just a defensive thing if troops land on it,
I
or
see.
occasionally for some strange reason, like ant lions will appear on your planets.
Okay.
It's happened to me all the time, and your capital city or an outpost, as it will be on other planets, does have a defensive rating, and they
Okay.
usually can't deal with them by themselves. But if it's too heavily infested, it will destroy that outpost.
Really? Wow. Interesting. That's good to know. So I see down here, normally, at least in the last video, I did see that this queue was building fairly fast. That had to be a result of the things I picked in the beginning of the game, which, affected my production rate. So
Yeah,
because we're at point 1, I'm assuming this is going to take a little while.
Yeah, you'll get 1 point every 10 seconds.
Oh, man.
So
that's
if
excellent.
you pull that up to something like 5,
Okay.
which will mean your research will go down to
Right.
0.5,
Right.
you'll get 5 production points into Space Marines every second.
I see. Well, I think I can live with this now because I do value research. In every game I play, like from Civilization to, Empire Total War, research, you want to have that going at the fastest rate possible because it tends to give you an advantage later in the game. Because if you have more researches, more research projects complete, then you are typically ahead of the game,
Yeah.
So I think I'll leave it as it is for now. But then we have ships. Of course, I want to get to building these, but I want to first modify or create, a setup for one of these ships. But if I'm not mistaken, because I was playing around with that the most in the last videos, you're limited at the beginning with, and in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and go there and take a look at it. So let's go to the shipyard really fast. Okay, so these are the little, what are these things?
Little fighters.
Fighters, right?
Well,
So,
they're called shuttles, but they're fighter craft.
right, now, the slots that they have doesn't seem... well, I'm sorry. Yes, well, we can get the Vulcan cannon now, but these things I don't think we... Yes, we can. I didn't know that. Oh, how nice. What's your recommendation then? Because I know that's a pretty big gun there. No need to really have the big ones because it's such a small ship. So I guess we're probably stuck with the smaller ones here, right?
Yeah. So, you need to keep one IO slot free for your bridge, which is under special. It's
Okay.
called cockpit, not a bridge, which
Okay.
is unlocked with frigates.
Okay.
So I'd recommend put that down first.
Okay, so you said the cockpit?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get that in there then. And just one, right? We don't necessarily need two, do we?
No.
Okay, all right. And so, what's your next recommendation for this ship?
I would say put down a small ordnance bay right next to the cockpit.
Okay, now that would be Ordnance Bay, small one. Okay, next to the cockpit. There we go. Just one, or should we be looking at more?
Well, just one, because it doesn't really matter where you put them on your ship.
Okay.
The ammo will get to the guns.
Oh, good. Good.
But the more you have, the longer your ship can stay in combat without having to go back and refuel, I
Nice.
guess.
That's impressive. I like that kind of detail. I really do. Okay, so we have the weapons now, and well, actually, first before I do that, because we do have to power the ship.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see, and then of course defense. But what's your next recommendation for this one?
I would say put 2 Vulcan cannons on the other IO slots.
Okay. Alright. Bingo.
Yep. And then under power, use the tiny nuclear reactor and just put. Let's have a look. See.
There we go. Should we put it toward the back or toward the front?
Doesn't really matter, to be honest,
Okay.
because
And
it's such a small ship. The radius that the reactor has is roughly the same size of the ship.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Like, what is exactly the radius? Is it 4 squares or 2 squares? I'm sorry, or
It honestly depends on the reactor. On a bigger ship, you'd actually see how much it gives, but on a fighter, you can't see it.
I see, because this is so small. Okay, I understand. All right, so then after this, clearly we will need an engine, right?
Yep, you
Should we
need.
go?
It depends what you're going to use it for. If you're going to use it for sort of like inter-system defenses, it doesn't particularly need a warp engine because a small engine provides a small amount of FTL.
Okay.
But if you want it to sort of like zoom backwards and forwards to defend outer systems, then you would put a warp engine on it.
Okay, I think we
So
can go with that.
yeah, so I would say it's just a well-rounded ship. Just put one of each on.
Sounds great. Sounds great. You know, I love this kind of detail. I must say I'm very eager to play this once the game releases. Now, I'm sure he's making some more changes because this is being developed by one person. Am I correct?
I could give it a look if you want.
I read it somewhere, but I just wanted to be sure because, you know, sometimes the sources can be kind of questionable. So I don't know how accurate that is, but I think it's one person who created this game.
Well, it's very talented then if it's just one person.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's for such a detailed game. It's hard to believe, very hard to believe that it's just one person. And, you know, given how long how long the development time was, but that's another thing. So while you're searching that, any recommendations for these last 3 slots? I mean, what else would we need at this point for this particular ship?
Well, if you look under defense, you've got something called internal bulkheads.
Okay.
I'm just going to have a mess around on my screen.
Okay.
You can put the cockpit and the ordnance back one, and you can
Okay.
put the bulkhead in front of it. So that means if you get shot at the front, the bulkhead will take damage before the cockpit does.
I see. Now, how do I move these without deleting it, or can I not do that?
You can't. You could have deleted, unfortunately.
Okay, that's okay. All right, so let's go ahead back to command cockpit. Let's move them back one. Let's get our, what was the other thing? The storage, right? Yes, storage. We had the small ordnance. And so the small ordnance is, let's see, how much does it hold?
25.
25. And then the ordnance storage, that one holds a whole lot more. Okay, just curious about that. Now, regular storage, cargo hold, this holds what type of things in the game?
That's usually food, colonists, or production.
Good to know. Okay, so back to armor. We're gonna go to internal bulkhead and place 2 of these. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, on the front. A little trick there is that if you delete those first, and if you bring the bulkhead back up, you can. If you hold down left click, it actually can drag it. So it'll, any space that you put your cursor over, it will actually put it on.
Oh, interesting. That's good to know.
Yeah, that makes shipbuilding a lot faster.
Oh, I believe it. Okay, that's good to know. Now we have one more slot left. I mean, any recommendations for this?
Yeah, if you put down something called let's see, what's it called actually? The fuel cell, the small fuel cell. I just want to make a point.
Okay, this is a big one. Let's do the small one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, now, do you see on the right-hand side you've got something called a recharge at warp?
Right here, yes.
Yes, it's a minus number, so that means that when the energy runs out on your ship, it's going to stop in the middle of deep space and wait until it's recharged before it goes back into warp.
Really?
Yes, so if it's a green number, you don't have to worry about that. If it's a
Okay.
red number, it'll stop periodically to recharge its engines.
I see.
So if you get rid of that fuel cell and put another nuclear reactor down, that should fix it, yeah.
A reactor?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Now, where's the reactor? Oh, okay, nuclear reactor, another one?
Yep.
Okay. It does get rid of it. Nice, so it's good to pay attention to that then. Okay. Wow. I like, it's deep games like this that I like because it really tests your creativity and your understanding of the game, of course, and then, oh man, then your victories feel more sweet, in my opinion, because, it's really a result of your meticulous attention to detail and crafting and creativity. I love games like this. Okay, so now we have the ship built. Of course, we want to save it. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Probably give it a different name. Gonna call it the Web Shuttle. Of course, everything will have web on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and save that. Okay, so we're good here. I guess we can back out. I guess we could also create some different ships, but I think we spent enough time in that particular one. But now it's time to build one. When you build these ships, does it really drain any sort of resource from your, your civilization, for lack of a better word?
Yeah, it's production storage that it drains. You see, is the assigned labor. That's you see how your space marines now have 2. I think it is.
Where's that at? Where's that at?
Your space marines now have 2 production. So.
Oh yeah, that's very slow.
So if you pull your production up to, I don't know, 5.
0.5?
No, a full 5.
Oh, full 5. Okay. Bingo. Okay.
Yep.
And that will bump that up
Every
significantly.
every second you
Nice.
should get 5.
There we go. That's cool. You know, I love that though, because it really forces you to, like you mentioned earlier, to strike a balance with this. Because, you know, on one hand, you need your production to be efficient, but at the same time, you have to make sure you're staying on par with the rest of the galaxy as far as your research, and that's good stuff. Okay, so once they're done, we're gonna actually put some one or two of these guys, I guess. The web shuttle. There we go. And so I'm assuming also, depending on what you place on your ships, that will increase this production number. Am I right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
every module has a production cost, and the more you put onto a ship, the more your ship will cost.
Awesome, as it should be. Okay, so I'm gonna actually put 2 of those into production, and that's gonna be it. I'm not going to overdo it because I get happy with these type of things, so I won't do that. Now, we don't have any buildings that we can build right now, and I'm assuming that's because we have not researched to that point yet. Am I right?
But yes, and if you notice, your research rate has gone down to 0.5.
It has. So I guess once these shuttles are done, I'm gonna actually put this back because it won't be anything in production. So
No.
I'll wait for this shuttle to be completed, and then we'll take this back down because I want, I definitely want my research to be
Yeah.
where it should be.
You've got to keep it as a positive number, because if you go to a negative number,
Right.
storage will start to be used up and your people will starve.
Right, okay. Good to know. Alright. Okay, so back down to point 1. We're good with that. Now we go back out. We should see our new ships. Am I correct? Yes, we do. Web Shuttle 1. I'm assuming that is Web Shuttle 2, and it is. Okay. Can we rename those? No, we can't.
Yes.
Okay. We can.
I think so, you should be able to.
Let's see.
Where are my ships? Oh, there they are.
Probably is an option, and I just can't see it.
Yeah, you just click the name.
Oh, really? Well, I did that, and it didn't quite. Okay, I have a Corvette shuttle unlocked, which is awesome. I just clicked the name, and it didn't. Let's see.
Try clicking the very end of the name.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, it didn't give me a, you know.
Oh, it gives me the option.
Does it? Really?
I must be special.
I think so, because this one doesn't like me here. So, let's see if I, well, not all my buttons are acting right, to be honest with you. There we go. It works. Okay, so we're going to call this one, Web Shuttle Alpha. And, I know. I'm so original. Let's see. What about this one? There we go. That's an unarmed scout. Where's our other one? Right here. You know what? I think it's because I have the game in windowed mode. I have to actually aim my mouse a little bit lower in order to get, you know, that going. Now we have a build menu, or did I just pull that up? Right.
You pressed B.
Oh, did I? Whoops.
Yes. That's
Okay.
something we'll come to.
Okay. So now, what's your recommendation here? Here we are. We have our ships built. You know, everything is pretty much in place. What now?
I would say select, if you double click on one of your shuttles,
Okay.
zoom out a little bit so you can see them all first,
Okay.
and then double click on one of them.
Okay. Oops. Okay, it won't let me. I think I'm too far. That's not my shuttle.
There you go.
Okay.
So you've got the 2 selected. If you click that arrow,
Okay. Right here? Okay.
yep, and the little kind of, I don't know how to describe that thing, I don't know what it is, but
This
it's a
here.
little,
The green.
yeah,
Ah.
send them off to explore the galaxy.
Awesome. Let's send those guys out. Is it clicked?
You should hear like a warp-up sequence, and then they should flash away.
Oh, they just did. Okay. But now the thing is, I'm used to this icon being highlighted. It's not highlighted.
I can't give you an explanation for that. You'll have to ask the developer.
Okay. I just hopefully that still means it's toggled.
Yeah, if you select the unarmed scout
There
and do
it
the
is.
same thing,
There it is. Okay, so we're gonna do the scout too. Okay, let's go ahead and grab him.
any ship you can go off to explore. It's just that scouts are usually best because they're the fastest.
Right. But I have the Perseverance, and this is my ship. This one is the one that I have full control over, correct?
Yes, but you can also relinquish control to set the AI to control it.
Ah, I see. How would you do that?
Um,
Not that
you
I.
need to-
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's a bit funny to do it. You can't do it directly
Okay.
because if you right click, it fires the weapons.
Right. Exactly. I noticed that.
So if you unselect it and then right
that
click
is
on it
sweet.
without selecting it,
Okay.
you'll see relinquish control at the top
Nice.
option.
There it is. Then we can also give it orders. Okay, so
Yes.
scans of H. Garrus 1 revealed an anomaly, so I'm going to actually get transported there. What am I seeing here with that notification?
It basically means that this planet's been surveyed. You can either colonize it, or if it's not colonizable, it'll just come up as a planet.
I see.
And the anomaly means that there's something on it,
Okay.
which can be exploited. Either money, ships, anomalies, which are sort of like relics.
Nice. Oh man. Okay. And again, we need ships for that. And then what type of ships though to achieve that?
You need a colony ship to colonize it, and then the
Okay.
marines that you build is what you go to survey planets. So they'll
Okay.
go out and roam across the surface of the planet looking for the anomalies themselves.
That's pretty awesome. Okay. So what if I want to do that? I think I want to do that. So I need to go back. Oh, hold on one second. Unlocks a new size 42 Corvette hull. Impressive. Here's another question for you. With the ship design, is there any way to work on the outer look of the ships, or are we just limited to what's in the ships?
Just limited to what's in the ship.
Okay, that's fair enough. I guess I'm asking too much. That's all right, but
I suspect people will make mods at some point.
I'm sure, and I'm hoping so. That'd be cool. Okay, so I did all that. Now, as I mentioned, I wanted to basically survey. Is it good to start expanding at this point, or should we try to just, limit ourselves to maximizing our current planet, our home planet?
I would say if you look at your systems, your system, the
Okay.
solar system, the 4 planets you can colonize are Mercury, Earth, Venus, and Mars.
Okay.
And they've all got different values. None of them produce food, but they all produce production. So
Okay.
I would say colonize those 4 first, so you've got like a steady stream of income.
Definitely. Okay, let's do that then. I'm gonna have to get another ship, it seems.
Not necessarily.
Oh no. Okay.
If you zoom out
Okay.
and just click on the planet, you'll see a colonize button.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
If you just click that, Earth will automatically build a colonization ship and send it to them.
Nice. That is awesome. I like the autonomy there. That's pretty cool. Okay. All right. So at this point now, what should we be focusing on?
I would say let's build some corvettes.
Okay. Sounds good. Should we create them first, or just go for what's already created?
Well, let's see you've got a flak hunter and a bomber corvette as your default. Which the flak one is basically it's an ordnance based
Okay.
ship that it's good at shooting down missiles,
Okay.
and the bomber one is using for bombarding planets.
I see. Let me go back out and take a look at that, because we can look at that in the ships here.
Yep.
Okay, so you said I have the flak, I have the unarmed scout, and then
The fighters.
my fighters, right?
Yeah.
So
For
which-
some reason, I've got the bomber corvette. I don't know why you haven't got it. I haven't done anything differently to you.
Oh wow. Well, maybe it's still yet to unlock. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, I guess it's probably good to go for the flak one, right? And that one's that.
Yeah. If you probably a bit better to sort of like explain shipbuilding.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, it's bigger hull now, so I can explain the uses of sort of like power conduits and
Perfect.
multiple reactors and stuff.
I'm glad you said that, because I love doing this part. This part is a lot of fun. Okay, so we're gonna should we follow the same strategy as the last one? Because of course you want to make sure you have enough power to power the ship, right?
Yeah. I would say put down the engines first because they're fixed. You can't do much with them, so just put them down first.
Okay. Now, should this time, because it's a little bit of a bigger ship, should we be thinking of a bigger engine, or do we even have those?
You can put
actually,
down
do.
twice as many.
Okay.
To put down as twice as many engines as they could the fighter.
Okay, sounds good then. I'll do warp engine, of course. Now, actually, let me just look back at what I did there, because I have, actually, I got 4 of the same thing. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, so I have 2 small warp engines. Should I go for the small combat thruster, or should I do 1 combat thruster, 1 small engine? Or
Let's have a
just...
Well, the small engine has a warp capacity to it, but it has less thrust. And the combat thruster has more thrust, but no warp
I
capabilities.
see. Okay, so I should probably stick with the small engine then.
No, because the small warp engine has 88,000 warp thrust.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and do that then. I'm going to drag it like you mentioned. There we go. And it still works like a charm. Awesome. Okay, so now we have our power. So one thing I did notice is that for these ships, you probably will need the power conduit. Am I right about that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, now here's the next question, because I know that also has a radius of effect.
Yeah, the radius effect of a power conduit is actually bigger than a reactor.
Ah, interesting. Okay, so should I be placing that now, or should I go ahead and focus on something else?
I would say put down one medium reactor right in the very middle,
Okay.
and then you'll see where you need to put the conduits.
Okay, perfect. Right in the middle, and I would say here, probably?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. That's a big reactor.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So everything that's grayed out means it isn't being powered.
I see. That's good to know. That's what I was looking for, to see that radius on screen. Okay, so now I need to...
Grab a power conduit.
Okay.
And power conduits are universal. They can go on any slot.
Nice. Nice. And I'm assuming we put on the outer edge of that circumference, right?
No, it has to be connected to the reactor.
It has to be connected.
It has to be connected.
And then it extends the range. I see.
Yeah.
So your recommendations for where to put it? Should I put 2 here and 2 down here, or?
I would say put the eye slots on the left hand and the right hand lower parts of the reactor.
Okay, so down here? Oh, the left hand and the right hand side.
Yeah, just put one each on either side, because then that'll power the 2 extremities of the wings.
Perfect.
The engines don't require any more power, so for the top, I would just say top, left, or right hand side. Doesn't really matter which. Just put.
Okay.
You'll need to put in a kind of little L.
Okay.
So one above that.
One above here. Okay.
Yep, and then to the left.
Right here.
Now your entire ship is powered.
Nice. Nice. All right. Cool. So after this, now obviously we're going to be looking at ordnance, weapons. What should we be targeting here? Because we want... I mean, of course, I could look at the... Again, but I'm so glad you're in the video with me. And if you don't mind, I would like to keep doing this. Even as we go into the Let's Play, I figure, why not? It's up to you, though. Your call. But I kind of enjoy this type of thing because it's helping me learn much faster than I would reading a whole bunch of text. So...
Yeah. I would say, you see that little gap where the power conduit didn't go?
Right here?
Yeah, put
Okay.
a conduit there, because it'll be protected by the power conduit and whatever you put on the right hand side.
Nice. Okay.
The only downside of that is that if you take a direct hit to your power core, it will destroy your ship.
Really? I
Yes.
see. Okay.
Especially when you unlock something called an antimatter reactor later on in the game.
Okay.
It destroys your ship, it also has a destruction radius around your ship, so anything caught in the wake will be either
Wow.
heavily damaged or destroyed itself.
Wow. That's something, man. Okay, so at this point, what should we be looking at?
Well, since we don't have energy weapons unlocked yet, I would say go for ballistic cannons.
Okay.
You can't use the scatter flak turret because it's too big to put on the ship.
Okay. And it is.
So I would say put down one flak turret at the nose of the ship.
Okay.
So that means you've got that forward attack.
Nice. Nice.
And then from there, just build up little the PD Vulcan cannons and
Okay.
armor and ordnance.
And I can put these guys anywhere, right?
Yeah, it's an O slot, so IO and O slots can go in.
Really? It's giving me... It's not allowing me... Oh, I guess it is allowing me if I just click the button, right? Okay, so I want to place one there. There. But, I mean, how many do we really need? Because, I mean, will they lose effectiveness if I have 2 on each side? Not
No,
lose effectiveness, will they add effectiveness is what I'm trying to say, or add more damage output?
Well, you see, the beauty of this game is that you can change the arcs of the weapons.
Ah.
So,
nice.
that's something we're going to get onto, but the most of you add, it basically depends, do you want to be a glass cannon or do you want to be a juggernaut with this ship?
You know what? That is a good question. You know what? You tell me at this point, because I need to get familiar with it first, and then I'll be able to...
Let's try and build something a bit balanced, shall we?
Okay, sounds great.
This ship, unfortunately, do you see how the cone of influence is
Yes.
2 orange bands? That means it's fixed. You can't change that.
Okay, okay.
If it comes out as a faint red kind of pie slice,
Mm-hmm.
it means it can be changed, and you can change it to any angle.
Nice. Okay.
It just really does depend on the ship and where you
I
put
see.
something.
I see. So should I put these in different places? Will it unlock the ability to change it?
No, because that ship, when you see the animation, you'll see that the gun ports for that ship are along the wings.
Ah, okay,
But
okay.
you could put guns anywhere on the ship and it will still work.
Oh, okay, cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we have this. So again, okay, glad you brought that up. So the actual placement of the guns really is not going to be the representation once we start fighting.
Yes and no. It's kind of like if you put a gun in the middle of your ship,
Mm-hmm.
a bolt or a bullet or whatever will come from there,
Mm-hmm.
and it will take longer to destroy that module because there's things in the way.
Uh,
Um, and if you put things on the edge, obviously they'll be close to being destroyed.
right, the first things to go. Okay,
So
I
if you just
see.
look, if you load your entire ship full of weapons,
Mm-hmm.
it's just gonna fly in there and destroy everything. But it's gonna be very susceptible because weapons
Right,
don't have good defensive capabilities.
exactly. Okay, that makes perfect sense. All right, now should we be thinking about a storage of any sort? Of course, weapon storage. So, and but then again, armor too, because we want this ship to be durable.
Yeah. So you've got internal bulkheads, which are one tile things, and reinforced bulkheads, four tiles.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah,
Yes.
they do take up 4 tiles. Okay, what's your recommendation with this one? And when we put these, how does these work? Are these automatically the first things to be destroyed, or it doesn't all
No,
matter about the placement?
it's placement. Anything
Okay,
that's in the way will get destroyed first.
I see.
So a good tactic is
Mm-hmm.
usually try and attack the ship from behind because the engines can't be shielded.
I see.
They can't be shielded by armor. They can be shielded by shields. But
Mm-hmm.
once the engines are gone, the ship will stop moving and just float.
Wow.
I've had that in one of my games. I had
Mm-hmm.
I built something called Death from Above.
Okay.
It was basically it was a heavy cruiser,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just filled completely with nuclear warheads to bombard planets.
Wow.
Unfortunately, it didn't have any defensive capabilities, and
Okay.
it needed a support ship which would transfer ammo backwards and forwards.
Wow.
The support ship was destroyed, and Death from
Wow.
Above lost all its ammo, all of its engines, and a lot of its shielding.
Wow.
And I couldn't do anything about it. It was an enemy system that the enemy wouldn't attack for some reason.
Really?
And
Oh, man.
my ship was lost there for hours until I
Wow.
managed to finally research something which I could repair it.
Wow. That's impressive, man. I like that kind of thing, though. Nice variety to a game, kind of mix things up. But wow, that's interesting. So at this point, then I'm thinking it's all about the play. As you mentioned, it's all about the placement. Should I be looking at the reinforced bulkhead, or should I go for just placing a bunch of internal bulkheads?
I'd say put a reinforced bulkhead between the cannon and those conduits.
Okay, all right. And then we can start placing a few of these internal ones.
Yeah, definitely on either side of the cockpit, because if your cockpit gets destroyed, that's it. Your ship can't be controlled.
Oh, I see. Oh, you mean like right here where I'm placing them, right? Because the O's can't get the we can't place the bulkheads there.
No, the O's can take. If you put small ordnance there,
Oh, yes, actually, that's a good idea. Let's do storage, small ordnance on both sides. Now, back to the bulkheads. Should I be placing some of these guys down here? But you
definitely.
mentioned you can't protect the engines, but I'm assuming if I put some on the right-hand side of these two, I can protect these two. Is that correct?
Kind of. It
Okay.
depends. Those back engines get destroyed. The next target will be the next engines.
I see. Okay, I got you. I got you. So, should I be placing these? I probably should place some of these on the wing then, too, then.
I'd say yeah, put one there and then on the other side.
Okay.
I don't know if you like me and suffer a little bit from symmetrical OCD.
Okay.
Your ships have to be symmetrical. That's just the way I work.
It's funny because I'm believing that's what's going to be the case. As you know, this is still I'm getting used to the game, but yes, I'm believing that's exactly what's going to be the case. But at this point, I'm open to whatever. So, what's your recommendation?
I would say put some small ordnance down now.
Okay, let's throw some
Um,
ordnance.
let's see. Put one behind the two Vulcan cannons in the middle of the ship,
Okay.
where you put those bulkheads, and then put on. Hang on, let's have a look. Defense
Is
armor.
that these two are right placed in the right place, right? Oh no, right here, right?
Yeah.
That's what you meant. Okay, let me go ahead and delete these two. Okay.
Put some internal bulkheads behind the reactor,
Okay.
so at least has a little bit of defense, just in
Right.
case your engines get blown out.
Exactly.
And then the rest is basically just a case of you've got enough small ordnance now, so just the
Right.
rest bulkheads.
Okay. Perfect. So and that really helps our. Let's see what attribute over here I didn't pay attention. Let me actually do that now. I just saw it change, but a few things. I see it affects FTL speed. It affects sublight speed, and of course the mass increases when you have those bulkheads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now what else? Because I'm thinking the hit points changed too, didn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't pay attention to that. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, so we have a fully built ship, and we can save it.
Just one curious thing before you save
Sure.
it. On your screen,
Okay.
is that 9,400 hit points?
Hit points.
Total hit points?
Yes, 9,400.
Oh, it looked like 5,400 there to me.
Oh, yeah, no, it's 94. That's a good thing.
Yeah, so what you've got there is like the mass of the ship. So obviously the heavier it is, the slower it'll go. Pretty self-explanatory. Sublight speed, how fast you'll travel outside of warp. FTL speed is how fast you'll travel in warp. Turn rate is...
What are good numbers for all these things? I mean, for example, the turn rate. What is the number we should be shooting for?
Yeah, honestly, so long as it's a plus number, it should be alright, but the higher the better.
The higher the better. Okay.
Yeah, and the ordnance capacity is what it is. If you find that you start running out of ammo too quickly, you can come back and change out some of the internal bulkheads for ammo slots.
Okay. All right.
Just one of the prerequisites for ships is you've got that bridge, cockpit, ICI,
right.
and the non-empty slots. Those have to be okay for you to save a ship, otherwise it won't work.
I see. Okay. Good to know. All right. So let's go ahead and save it, and let's see. What shall we name this one? We're gonna call it the WGC Hunt or the Web Hunter. Of course, everything has to be web. Okay, so let's come out of here, and now it's a matter of just purchasing our ships, right?
Indeed.
Nice.
One little thing I want to point out to you before we do that. If you build a Corvette, the Web Hunter. Yep. And you see the little two little hammers that are...
Yes.
I saw in the last video that you use them to sort of like increase in tens.
Yes.
If you read the description, it says if you hold down Control and click, it'll fill it up based on how much you've got. So at the moment you've got 90 something. 96.
Where do you see that at?
The description says a single click. Oh no, yeah.
Oh, so this takes away from production storage, right?
Yeah. So if you right click, that's not right click. Control and left click.
Okay. I see, and it did, because I think it took me down to 1 over here on production storage.
Yeah.
Cool. That's pretty cool. So that's another way you can speed up if you store up. So I'm assuming here that the assigned labor here it increments at 0.1 second per second. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So if you're not building anything, that production goes down to the storage. Am I correct?
Yep.
That's awesome. Okay, I didn't know that. Now I do. Okay, so we have 1. Should we be building 2, or should we just go ahead and stick with 1?
I'll just stick with 1. I mean, if you zoom out, you'll see that you've probably explored quite a big part of space now.
Where is it at? Is the question.
It'll be your
step.
Yay.
Nice. I love it. Now, here's the thing I wanted to see, because if I click that, isn't it supposed to change on the map too?
No, it's only supposed to change there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If you press tab, you'll see it on your actual ship.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. Can you follow these things without having to follow it with your screen?
Only if you take direct control of it.
I see. Okay. All right. Assume control, man. That makes me think of Mass Effect. Assuming direct control. Okay, but we have Mercury was colonized. Great, it was colonized. So before we do anything with that guy, I'm going to first just go ahead and click on the other. You said Mars was another colonizable.
Yeah, and Venus as well.
Perfect. Let's go ahead and colonize that. Can I click colonize for all 4 of them at the same time?
No, just go one at a time. But they're all in the same system, so it's not too hard.
Yeah, it won't be hard. Okay. So good. This one is built. We have an outpost there. What's the benefit of the outpost?
The outpost basically just gives you control of that planet. If you lose the outpost, you lose control of the planet.
I see. Would it be good to place a spaceport there?
Well, do you see how you've got no lit up tiles on the planet?
Right.
You can't build anything.
You're right.
You've only got control of that planet. That's all you can do with it.
That's all.
But what you can do in the assigned labor is pump the production to maximum, and that'll turn it to 0. Which means your population won't grow, but it also won't starve.
Okay.
So now your population is pretty much alright.
Good. That's good to know. Awesome. Now, should I automate this?
No, because there's nothing to do with that planet.
Right. Okay, you're right. All right. Okay. So let's wait for the other one to be. Whoops! Didn't mean to click that. All right. Okay. So now what should we do with? Whoa! Where did I go? Okay, you're right. What should I do with the ship now that we've built?
You can well once you find an enemy stronghold. There's a little bit of a story in the game, which I don't think you've come across yet.
I have not.
It's basically it's something called the remnants within the game, and you will come across somebody like drones hovering around planets that you need to attack before you can colonize it.
Okay.
And at some point along the line, you will discover a secret, and a new part of your tech tree will open called secrets.
Okay.
And you can research alien technology.
Nice.
And the second part of that tech tree is an alien transceiver.
Okay.
Which then unlocks something in the galaxy, which once you've colonized that planet, you then get the next part of the secret.
Wow.
And it goes on and on and on like that.
That's incredible. Okay. Now, what did I just unlock? Okay, I guess we just unlocked one of the researches. One of the research projects, I mean. Well, maybe not this one, though. I don't know. Maybe, let me read it. A massive hyperspace flux is inhibiting warp travel throughout the galaxy. What does that mean?
That's just one of those random events that happens every so often.
Ah, I see. Okay, and then here, energy weapons unlocked. So that one did unlock. I have the laser beam turret, the heavy mount laser beam, and the PD laser beam. Yep. So more weapons, which is
more weapons.
Cool. Pretty
and
cool.
I would recommend above all else use either energy weapons or missiles. Missiles are devastating against ships that aren't shielded,
nice.
And energy weapons don't require ammo. So,
nice. Nice.
One thing I want to direct you towards is next to shipyard. Do you see Empire?
Shipyard. Yes, I do. Okay.
Right. Inside the Empire screen, you've got all your planets.
Nice. That's convenient.
Yes. If you take, actually, if I just make my settings the same as yours. 1.7. There we go. Right. Do you see in the storage you've got import?
Yes.
Yeah. If you set it so that Earth exports, its excess, Mars will get that. Not Mars. Mercury will get that because it's set to import. If you set it to storage, which is the third option, it will neither import or export. It'll just store whatever it gets.
Oh, I see. So we should do import then for Mercury.
Yes.
Okay.
Just so it's got some, and its population won't starve. The good thing about this is that if you have a planet that is, it's got tiles that you can build on, but you can't get the production up high enough to get to a positive number, so you can't store what you're producing. You can set it to import, and planets that have got excess to export, and cargo ships will go and take excess production to that planet, so you can use it without having to worry about the planet dying, basically.
That's good to know. That's really good to know. Wow. Oh man, I learned so much in just 1 hour. It's incredible, actually. So it's showing that we're down to about 7 minutes. So 7 minutes left. At this point, thank you for this, because this here part, I like when things are consolidated. Information is consolidated so that I can manage once things. I'm sure as the game keeps going, your empire will be so huge it would be very difficult to keep an eye on everything, but you can come back to this screen and really just keep everything close to your ability to manage. Let's see. And then this here is the diplomatic overview. I'm assuming the other two civilizations that I selected will be here once I discover them.
Eventually, yeah.
Okay. Alright. Now, this whole agents and espionage, this must be a whole different phase of the game here, right?
Yeah, that's kind of like if you want to steal money or technology or try and sort of like incite rebels on people that you don't particularly like.
Okay.
Cool. That if you have agents and they're not being used, they defend in your empire, so if people try and do the same back to you, there's a chance that they'll stop them.
Good.
But since you haven't encountered anyone yet, you don't need them.
Right. And that actually sounds very similar to how Civilization 5 has it set up. That's good. So hopefully it won't be such a great learning curve for me on that one. No. Okay, so we checked all those out. Our income rate is pretty good. I am assuming that's 7.5, and research is still 1.7. So at this point, what should I start to focus on? Because, of course, I'm already colonizing planets. I think we're making progress on Mars here. I think.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out,
Mm-hmm.
well, kind of make you aware of, is
Okay.
the mini map in the right hand corner. Do you see those buttons on the left hand side?
Yes. Yes.
Those are the different things that you use to access different parts of your empire. So that there is the zoom to fire flagship.
Ah, nice.
The one under it is the galaxy view. So
Okay.
you just click that and you'll zoom out to the galaxy.
Oops. That's what I want to say. Okay. Good. All right. Wow, this is a big galaxy out there. Wow. Now, what are these icons flashing next to these?
That swirly one is a an artifact of some kind. The
Oh.
red exclamation marks are there's an enemy in that.
Oh, should we check out some combat?
In a moment,
Okay.
the very bottom one, if it's AI, if you
Okay.
click that, you'll come up with a little menu in
This
the
one
top.
here.
Down, 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 down.
Oh, all the way down to the bottom. Okay.
Yeah,
Bingo.
right. These are automation things that you don't need to control if you don't want to.
Oh, nice.
So you can either set auto explore, auto colonize, auto projectors, which means that if you've got two systems that have, well, any two systems, it doesn't matter how far apart they are,
Okay.
you'll automatically build something called subspace projector,
Okay.
which around the soul you've got that kind of blue aura.
Yes.
That's human subspace fields. It means that ships either don't require as much energy or don't require any energy at all to go into warp.
Nice. So it's
And
good to kind of set that then to auto build.
yeah, and the auto freighters is basically the export import system. A planet will automatically build freighters based on how much it needs, and freighters will go backwards and forwards looking for trade routes
Nice.
to fuel your empire basically, and you don't have to worry about setting those up yourself.
Nice. Now, with auto ground combat, do I want to take that away so that I can conduct that, or what does that entail?
That basically means if you're invaded on the ground, either the outpost or the marines that are stationed there will defend themselves automatically, or you can go in and take control.
Okay, that's good. I'll go ahead and leave that then clicked. So, I have one of my shuttles coming back. Okay, so what about this one here? This is our fleet button, I'm assuming.
Yeah, because you don't have any fleets yet, you don't have anything big enough. That
Right.
basically means if you were to click on one of the fleets, you'd see how it was deployed. You could
Okay.
change how it was deployed to say, like, put long range vessels at the back and more like sturdy vessels in the
nice.
middle or faster ships at the front, that kind of thing.
Nice. Oh man, that's nice. Wow. Okay, there's so much
Um,
yet to discover then in this game.
Yeah, that final button, the requisition button, means that if your fleet is taking damage and lost ships, you press requisition, and any planets that can will rebuild those ships and send them automatically to your fleet.
Really? Okay, so this button here, not. Wow. I like how deep this game is. It's really impressive to me, actually. It's really more than what I anticipated, to be quite honest with you, because I've played Sins of Solar Empire. I played a few other ones.
Oh, I love that game.
Yes, me too. I'm a big fan of Sins of a Solar Empire. But this game here seems very deep. I'm glad you said that then. What's your verdict if you wanted to compare these two games, what's your verdict on that? Even though they're slightly different, because I don't think Sins of a Solar Empire quite qualifies to be listed as a 4X strategy game. But what's your take on that?
I don't know, because if I were to look on Steam, it would say that I've racked up nearly 300 hours on Sins of the Solar Empire. But I've racked up about 20 on StarDrive. I like them both. They've both got their down points and their good points.
Okay.
Obviously, with Sins, it's sort of like it's fully 3D. With this one, it's more
Yes.
pseudo 3D. It's 3D in a 2D environment.
Right, exactly.
Sins, it's very pretty.
It is
I
very pretty.
can't get away from that.
I hear you. Me too. I'm a big person for 3D space, so just kind of see it as it would be if you were there for real. So 2D I like too. Don't get me wrong. I can deal with 2D, but 3D I always choose. Obviously, I think most people feel that way, but I like this game. I like this game a lot. Of course, it won't replace a Sins of the Solar Empire for me, but at the same time, it will stand right there with it, in my opinion. Because like you just mentioned, it has both its, they both have their positives and negatives. So, wow, I'm definitely left saying wow, but I will keep going until we exhaust all these minutes. That's how much I like playing this so far. And actually, we're down to 57 seconds, so I'm actually going to end it at this point. But well, thank you so much for being here with me. And again, we'll talk more about future episodes. But I would love it to play this game alongside you, and so we can kind of I can really learn every bit of it as I can, if that's okay with you. But we'll talk about that behind the scenes. But again, I want to say thank you. Anything you want to say to everybody watching, or?
Not really. They're very possibly going to see games that I've been making at some point in the future over the next 12 months. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing how you play them.
Oh yes, I meant to mention that Wolf actually is a budding game developer, and I have seen some of his work, and I'm excited about getting into some of that. So I will be playing that game, those games, guys. So please stay tuned for that. It's gonna be pretty cool. So again, Wolf, thank you so much for your time, man, and I look forward to more Let's Plays alongside you. All right.
All right.
All right, sounds good. Everybody, thank you so much for watching Web Gaming Central. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and as I always say, we'll see you in the next video.